Setting up a semi-claustral test tube is very similar to a fully claustral. You'll want to start out with a clean test tube, a little bit of rubbing alcohol and hot water, which should rinse away anything gross inside. And the first thing you'll notice is that the fill line on mine is a little bit lower than that of the fully claustral test tube. This is important because it gives just a little bit more space for feeding. First step, same as the other one, fill it up with some water up to that fill line. The fill line is still about 2/3 or a little bit under, so if you don't have a fill line, you can just fill it up a little bit less than 2/3 full. Maybe half full. Next up, you get that cotton, same as the fully claustral test tube. You want to push it in with your fingers in the top. Grab your wide pusher, whether it's tweezers or a wide push stick, and you're going to want to measure it up. Touch the top of the test tube and have the bottom of your pusher just below the fill line or just below the level of the water. Then you're going to put it on top and push real hard until it hits the water. Once you're there, tamp it down so that the cotton is nice and wet, but not dripping and pouring out. If you have some air bubbles inside, I would recommend pulling out the cotton and retrying. Next up, we use a little piece of cork with a hole in the middle. I've cut it to fit the inside of my test tube, and it can be a little tricky to place it. You do want it placed right at the top of, in my case, where that film stops. In your case, it'd be about maybe 1/2 inch or 1 inch. I like to use some smaller tweezers for this. Slide it so that it's right on the spot, and then just twist it into place. You can see now that we've got this smaller chamber here for the claustrum, and then this little area over here is meant for feeding. The ants can easily crawl out of their claustrum through that hole in the cork. They just crawl up the side and crawl through there. That way they can get to their food and crawl back and still feel nice and safe in the dark. Next step is the same as the fully claustral setup. We'll just get another piece of cotton and jam it into the end so that the ants can't escape, but the air can still transfer. This one you might want to leave a little bit extra space so that there's some more area for the food to sit so it doesn't just get stuck on the cotton. When the food is dried up or starting to get gross, you just grab some small tweezers and pull it straight out. And then replace the food as needed. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what kind of ants you have, and if you don't have any ants, what kind of ants you'd like to have. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you never miss an upload.